to another episode of the Philosophy Podcast. I am your host, Controversy, and to my right, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host, none other than Mr.
Darren Love.
And together, we are the Philosophy Podcast. Thank you to you guys for tuning in to a brand new episode. Thank you for tuning in once again this week, guys. And like we always say, what is on the agenda for this week, mate? What is today's
hot topic?
That's it. What are we talking about, mate?
I thought I'd put a change that you choose this week.
Okay.
If that's alright.
Okay.
Just for something different.
You put me on the spot there, mate.
Something different, you know.
Let's talk about choices. How do you feel about choices?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's cool. That sounds good to me. Yeah.
Like that?
That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
So what are your thoughts and your opinions and perspective, I guess, on choices?
Well, we all got choices in life, haven't we?
Voila.
Really. It's an interesting topic.
Definitely.
I've done job thinking about that one so quickly.
Thank you, mate.
That's a good choice.
Good choice. I like that. I like that. I like that. Don't leave me hanging. I like that. I like that.
Good choice.
I like that.
We all choose. We're all
Pun intended.
So we're all a little bit different, aren't we?
We are.
Like in personality a little bit, you know, and we all got different hobbies, all different interests.
Yeah.
But we all got choices, haven't we, at the end of the day, you know, like we just choose what we want to do each day, don't we? And it's an interesting topic, really. It's choosing the right thing to do, isn't it, each day, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I try to follow, you know. I try to sort of follow certain rules and try to do the right thing.
Yeah, same.
For myself and everyone else around me, really, you know.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I think like every day we come up with choices, don't we, to make.
Yeah, every single day. Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you when you wake up in the morning, basically. I mean, if you're, because I don't personally, I'm sort of retired now.
But the first choice when you wake up in the morning, the absolute first one is, do I get up?
Yeah.
Well, I don't make that choice, but I was going to say that would be your first choice of the day, isn't it?
Well, some people ain't got a choice, really, have they? Because they kind of got to get up and go to work.
Of course, you've got responsibilities.
They've got a duty to do, basically. And sometimes they might sort of break that duty. Do you know what I mean? Think, I don't want to go to work. Do you know what I mean? I've done it.
Yeah.
But
we've all done it at one point.
Yeah. You know, so, I mean, it is hard work going to work, isn't it? Really, sort of day after day, week after week. And sometimes I don't feel like they give you enough holiday.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, during the year, it's just not quite enough. You know, and I feel like, I mean, even when I used to be employed. Yeah. Depending what job it was, you know, but like if it was I used to work at a supermarket for 3 years, and occasionally I'd do a sickie. Yeah. You know, I made the choice. You know, sort of like it's
not
you
today.
know I haven't done one for quite a while. You know, I'm going to do another sickie today. Do you know what I mean? I paid it a bit. Do you know what I mean? No, I think people do that. You know, and I feel like people get out of bed really because they have to. Yeah. Yeah. You know, or otherwise their rent's not going to be paid, or they're not going to get any food on the table. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, but we all have choices about what we're kind of doing for a living, don't we?
True. Yeah. Well, not everyone. Because the reason that I say that as well, we do have a choice. Don't get me wrong. You do have a choice in the matter. It is up to you what you choose to do. But in the world that we live in today, in which we exist, if you do not have a great education and you're not willing to become your own boss and become an entrepreneur, then the jobs that are available to you, based upon your skills and your experience and your education, that pool of jobs, if you see what I mean, there'll be a number of jobs, but they're usually the lower paying jobs, if you get what I'm saying. So, like all the average jobs, if you see what I mean, like, you know, the jobs that pay either minimum wage today or slightly above, if you get what I'm saying. Those are the type of jobs that are usually available to you based upon, like I said, your education, your life skills, and everything else, if you see what I mean. So yeah, some people, they have a choice, but their choices are limited, I guess is what I'm trying to say in that regard. Because if you've never studied to become an electrician or know nothing about being an electrician, you can't go tomorrow and apply for an electrician job. No. You will never get the job. impossible. You know what I mean? So if you're, so it does limit certain things, certain choices in life. Depend, like again, like when you go to school, it's your choice whether or not you're gonna excel to your highest potential or not, depending on your interest.
I mean, when I did leave school, I went to college. I think I was about age 21. I think I was. No, actually, I was a bit older now, 27.
Okay,
years of age, and I went to a kind of sort of college for 6 months to learn electronics.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me. Yeah.
You know, I got an MVQ 1 and 2 in electronics, basically. You know, and that was my choice. I made that choice to go there. You know, I wanted to know more about electronics, basically. You know what I mean?
Better yourself. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like some things in life we don't get a choice about, like for instance, being born.
Correct.
Or choosing what parents you've got.
What country you're born in.
Yeah.
What your ethnicity is going to be.
Yeah.
What your religion might be enforced upon you based upon your parents' belief, and
who your brother is.
Exactly, your siblings.
Who your sister is, and so on. So there's some things we haven't got a choice about, isn't there? But
but the thing is that what's great about it, though, right, mate, is even in those moments where you don't have a choice, right? Once you get to a certain age and you become an adult, then you then have a choice. If you get what I'm saying? So
when you become independent.
I know loads of the people, not loads of people, but there are numerous stories of people that we've all heard about that have literally come from nothing, if you see what I mean. Poverty, living in government assisted housing, all their family on benefits, not much food in the house, not much money for...
Well, they got out of bed and earned a lot of money and become rich.
That's what I'm saying. They literally made the choice when they got to a certain age that they were not going to allow their present circumstances to define their future. You get what I'm saying? And have made those conscious decisions and choices that enabled them to excel at life, if you see what I mean. So not everything is
No, we ain't got a choice about getting older, have we?
True.
You know?
True. Yeah.
Or we ain't got a choice about dying really in life. You know, one day we're going to die, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, but I think we've got a choice is to look after our body, you know, and try to sort of like maybe make our lifespans a bit longer than they are.
True, yeah.
If you sort of mean, you know, if you got a choice about what you eat, basically, haven't you, or what you drink.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I used to drink alcohol a lot more than I don't drink alcohol only maybe once on a celebration, if you sort of mean, on my birthday, a little bit. But I try to keep away from it, you know, and that was my choice to give that one up and try to make myself a better person, which obviously it does. You know, if you drink water, obviously you're going to, I feel like you're going to be a bit more healthy, and you're not going to be out of control and stupid.
Yeah.
If you sort of mean, because I think like alcohol, after all, at the end of the day, it makes you stupid.
Yeah, and it's just a poison essentially as well.
Makes you do stupid things.
Yeah.
Or
it is just a poison to the body.
People do it for a laugh, don't they? I think, you know, and to pick themselves up and make themselves happy. You know, I do understand it. You know, because like I say, I occasionally like having a little drink myself. You know, especially on my birthday. You know, but I think like some people do it too much, maybe. You know, and that's their choice.
Abuse it.
That's their choice, isn't it? It's all our choices at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, I smoke, okay, and I know that's one of my bad points, really. You know, I mean, I smoked since I was a very young boy, really.
Same. Yeah.
I started, you know, because it was around when I was 10. 10 years of age, believe it or not. I could go into the shop at 10 and buy a packet of cigarettes back then. You know what I mean? Things are different today, and they've kind of come down very hard on it, and they don't advertise it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay? When I was little, they used to advertise it, you know. And I thought it was the thing, you know. When they first brought it out, basically, they didn't really know it was bad for you. Or they might have done, but they didn't tell anyone.
Even at one point, I remember in the very early days, and the reason that I know this is because I used to look after a guy that's now passed away, if you see what I mean. He was in his 90s when I was looking after him. Him and his wife, actually. And he actually told me that at one point, I remember he told me he was like in his 40s or 50s or something. He went to the doctor, and obviously back then that was probably in the 1950s or 60s at that time, if you see what I mean. And he told me the doctor actually recommended him to smoke. the doctor would say,
calm you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So my granddad, alright, he died at, I think he died probably about 20 years ago, yeah, but he was at age 95.
Okay.
Okay. So he was quite an old man, but he went through 2 wars, and he signed up to the army as soon as he was a young boy. I can't remember, 15 or 16 or whatever it was, I don't know. But he signed up to the army, went in the army and started smoking straight away, smoking tobacco and roll-ups and all that, do you know what I mean? I think he started smoking when he was age 13.
Okay, yeah.
And anyway, they, as he was getting older, they told him to give it up. I think he was age sort of like just coming up to 95. And he gave up and then died, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the last 6 months of his life he didn't smoke. But then, I think he died because he gave up something that he really enjoyed in life, So, I mean, I know that it's bad for me.
Yeah.
And I know that I'd be better off if I gave up, really. Do you know what I mean? Financially and
health-wise,
yeah. And I'm trying to sort of like cut down now, sort of like I smoke during the show.
Yeah.
And I do sort of like might have one occasionally during the day, So I'm trying to sort of like cut down to what I used to. Do you know what I mean? You as you do get older, your body does start talking to you. Do you know what I mean? It sort of said, my body's sort of.
You've got to pay attention.
I've been smoking nearly 50 years, over 50 years now, and it's a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised I'm still alive today. Still here. I am. And like I say, I need to change.
Yeah.
I know. I think we're all trying to change to get better.
Yeah. Yeah. To improve.
Right? Yeah. And yeah. I mean, this year my New Year's resolution is trying to get happier in life. I want to change and laugh a little bit more, smile a little bit more than I did the previous year, if you see what I mean.
Well, to be very honest with you, right, mate, I'm the type of person that I don't even have New Year resolutions, rather.
I don't really.
I just every day is just another day to try to make progress. Like we always talk about. It's a choice. As we're talking about choices, it's about choices, about waking up and deciding whether or not you're going to take on the day, essentially, if you see what I mean. Just own the day, Why I'm so glad we're talking about choices tonight as well, why it's such a good choice, I think, in terms of topics, for our show.
You did it. You made a choice.
Every single choice we make shapes our reality.
Yeah.
From every choice, once we're old enough and conscious enough and able enough to start making our own choices and our own decisions and formulating our own opinions and perspectives on things, and having our being independent. Every choice we make shapes and molds our futures and our reality, our present moment and our futures, if you see what I mean. And I think that the younger you are, and you figure that out, the better. Because you'll start to realise, you'll start to pay attention more to your decision making and to your habits and to your behaviour patterns, if you see what I mean. And the only way you can grow and improve as a person, like we always talk about, is by identifying your flaws, if you see what I mean. So unless you're willing to be brutally honest with yourself and be completely truthful with yourself, about who you are and what you want to improve in your life, then you're never ever going to make any progress as an individual. You might make progress in terms of your career or other things, if you see what I mean, but as in terms of being like making progress as an individual, like doing that self-work, like that shadow work as they call it, working on yourself, and trying to really grow and evolve as a person, then yeah, if you're not willing to do that, then you're never going to grow. And that is a choice that we all have to make in life, is do we want to become better as people, if you see what I mean? Do we want to improve on our character, our personalities, or whatever our character traits may be? Is there anything about ourselves that we don't like? And what can you do to change that?
I mean, a lot of people don't really like change, I think.
True, yeah.
They're scared of change. They want things to stay the same. I can understand it in a kind of way. I quite like my life is at the moment, you know. I don't really want to move into a different place, do you know what I mean? I'm happy where I am in a kind of way, you know. And nobody wants to, you know, there's a lot of people basically in jobs and they're not really happy there in a kind of way sometimes, you know, but they're kind of like been working there years and they're scared of change in a kind of way, you know. They don't want to change into a different place, different environment and different people. And, you know, because it's quite a big step, you know, sort of like if you're employed somewhere for a number of years and then suddenly you sort of like lose your job and go into a different environment, it's completely different, isn't it?
Yes,
you know,
it's different setting.
Well, then you've got to learn to sort of like
adapt.
Learn about all those people that, you know, get to know all these people, these new people.
Especially if it's a different occupation as well, if it's a different type of job.
But change is good.
It can be, it can be.
You know, I think it's good. Personally, I want to change.
Yeah.
I think it's whether you want to change in life, and you know, like we all got choices whether we want to change who we are, or whether we want to keep the same, or get worse even. You know, some people get worse because you know, like, especially if they're lazy, you know, with themselves and all that. You know, they can deteriorate and lose themselves in a kind of way. You know, get lost and actually
lose their focus.
You know, end up sort of ill or top themselves even or whatever, you know.
Worst case scenario, yeah.
But I'm trying to sort of change. I mean, personally, if I come into a lot of money, I want a lot of money, that would change your life, wouldn't it? I think it changes anyone's
life.
It changes your perspective on things, I think, as well, you know. It gives you the power, doesn't it, money?
Yeah.
I think like it's like a magic wand, as I've said before, maybe, you know, in previous episodes. Money will change you in a kind of way. I think like if I suddenly got a lot of money into my bank account tomorrow, a dream bank account, it would change me. That's for certain, you know.
Well, I think when it comes to having,
or would it?
I think when it comes to having a lot of money, right, mate, it enhances your character. So if you're a really nice person, a very kind person, loving person,
you can be kinder,
trusting person. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So if you're a really good person, if you've got really good character traits and etc., then usually people with that, when they get a lot of money, they tend to help a lot of people and to use their money for good. Obviously, not only will the money benefit them directly and their family, or you know, their loved ones, whoever else. But other people as well, they might donate money to charity or start their own charity and then put money into that, if you see what I mean, to help people in whatever way they feel inspired to do. So yeah, but also on the flip side, there's a lot of people that get money and they're not really so much nice, you know, not really, you know, very nice people.
Then we'll get more money.
And it enhances their character and makes them even more greedy, like you're saying, like, you know, like more greedy, more,
you know,
they have like, the type of people that kind of like go on a power trip, if you see what I mean, that like, you know.
People that haven't learned how to be kind yet.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And so you get some people, rich people, and they're into drugs.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, so I think there's all types of people out here in the kind of way. But it's all about yourself at the end of the day. You know, you're living in this world, and it's all, you know, you're an individual, aren't you? You know, and it's up to you whether you want to be kind. It's your choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's your choice whether you want to be wicked at the end of the day. You know, and I personally much happier being kinder in life. You know, and I'm you know, hopefully in the future learning to be kinder if I can. If you saw me, because that's what I want to be. You know, because I feel like the more compassion you got inside you, the more happiness you've got living inside you. You know, the more appreciation you got inside you, the more happier you'll feel. The more excited you'll feel. You with me? And I think that's really the thing. You know, the things that you got to think about really. You know, in the future, sort of just appreciate life more.
Yeah.
If you want to change, you know, appreciate every second really, if you can. You know, because it's like I say, time goes so quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A week goes by so quickly.
Yeah.
And we're not here forever.
Well, tomorrow is the first. Tomorrow, yeah. it will be the end of the first week of the new year already.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just goes to show we're a week into the new year already. Yeah.
I mean, every decade that goes by, or every century, we are changing slowly, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like I was talking last week about there was a guy, I can't remember, he's from Canada.
Okay.
And he invented the radio.
Oh yes, yeah.
You know, the first person to sort of put voice over the wireless network.
Okay.
Okay. And he's from Canada. And you know, like that idea changed our world big time.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
It changed it to give a lot of people actually sort of like hope or a living.
Yeah.
You know, by selling their records or whatever, you know, online, so everyone can hear them. So those kind of inventions, even the internet itself, changed what it was.
Yeah.
Used to be. And
completely.
as I was saying, like
Yeah.
the week before as well, somebody invented the motor engine, you know, and worked on the motor car, and here we got it. Do you know what I mean? It's changed our world into a noisy, dangerous world where children have got to learn the Green Cross code now if they want to survive longer. You know, because if they don't learn it, they might get run over. Do you know what I mean? But that's the reality of the world we live in. You know, I feel like every century that goes by, the world is changing. So, you know, even when they come up with the idea of the glass, it kind of changed the world a little bit somehow. You know, these inventions always kind of like come up now and again, you know, and they kind of change the world. You know, like for instance, electricity changed the world completely. Everyone loves it, don't they? I mean, I do. I wouldn't want to live. I wouldn't want that kind of change. You know, like electricity to disappear tomorrow.
But if you think about it, right, mate, though, electricity, obviously, not going to expand upon that too much because we're not talking about that so much tonight.
Well, it's changed.
No, it's changed. But what I'm not going to, in terms of electricity, I'm not going to talk about electricity itself too much. But I think electricity, personally, was the biggest thing that was the biggest discovery ever. That is what has changed. Having being able to harness electricity, and for everyone to have electricity, predominantly, mostly.
The radio idea would come up. You know, without electricity, the guy with the radio wouldn't come up with the idea.
Exactly. So I personally believe that electricity is the biggest factor and contributor to our modern society. That had the biggest impact.
It's what created, you know, once they discovered electricity, it is what actually...
It had the knock-on effect to make everything else.
Well, it boosted the Industrial Revolution.
Correct.
Yeah. That's what actually give the energy, you know, the power to the Industrial Revolution. You know, it changed the world, didn't it? You know, it kind of like, a lot of people work in factories now, you know, with machines and things.
Yeah.
If you sort of know. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's a big change though. You know, electric, if it did go tomorrow, for good, you know, I'm just wondering, it would change things.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, I wouldn't be able to use my camera anymore.
Yeah.
And people wouldn't be able to plug in their mobile phones anymore, if you see what I mean.
Well, can you imagine not being able to use any electrical device? That almost that pretty much eliminates most of the things in your life. TV, computer, internet, your cooking.
We're kind of be blacked out, won't we, without electricity?
We'll be lit if that was to ever happen, right? If electricity was like, for some reason, somehow, some way, there was some kind of cyber attack or something was to happen where
the government decided they didn't want it.
Exactly, so, you know, or wanted to, you know, to kind of, you know, fuck with the people, so to speak.
Yeah.
Then if that was to happen, we would be literally kind of going back to like primitive, almost like being primitive again, mate. It would be literally.
So they lived 1,000 years.
You would have to have a wood fire. You would have to have all these things. Obviously, we still have houses because the houses are already built. If you see what I mean. But come winter time, you'd be bloody freezing. If you see what I mean. No heating. No. You got to have a cold bath every day. No hot water. Cold bath every day, freezing cold, because you know what it's like here in the UK. You know, if it's only cold, it's freezing, isn't it?
So, I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't really appreciate what they got today.
That's exactly.
We got hot water.
Yeah, just something as simple as that.
I mean, I'm very lucky, right? When I have a bath here, you know, I've got really hot water.
Yeah.
And not everyone's got that, you know. And I always appreciate it, you know, because I just know some people have got cold baths.
Cold, just cold. That's it.
And so on, you know, or they ain't even got a bath. You know, because they're homeless. So I do, you know, I do appreciate what I've got, really, you know. I find that's kind of what makes me happy, really, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like the more I kind of appreciate life, the more happy I get, in a funny way.
That's how it works, I believe, mate.
Yeah. You know, so it's like the moment...
Because it's the same thing for me.
As soon as you're ungrateful, you'll lose everything.
I find the more grateful I am, the more blessed I become.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Honestly.